Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode. We're so glad you're here. Hello to everyone in Australia and around the world.
Yes, hello. Welcome. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Life update? You got any updates for us?
Not much has changed.
No, not really.
Life update. I really don't know, hey.
Our dog is a bit sick.
Yeah, it's a bit sad.
We're not sure what's happening, and we've had a lot of tests done, and it's like a mystery case. So that's been on our minds a lot.
Yeah.
And it's sort of been a touch and go situation for a couple of weeks now. We haven't really mentioned it because it's sort of like hard to talk about, you know?
It is hard to talk about.
But yes, that's something. I also graduated on Monday.
Yeah, goodness me, you're asking me for a life update and then you're like, oh, all this exciting stuff. Come on.
Misty and...
Well, no, but like your graduation and stuff.
Yeah, it is exciting. I graduated and that was a really nice day, big moment. Very grateful I got to do it because so many people missed out. But yeah, it was really lovely and surreal and kind of a roller coaster.
I like it. It was really nice, like, seeing your graduation.
Was it?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
It was just nice. Like, I'm just, so proud of you,
Oh.
for getting through to the end. Like, I know it was a struggle, and
Yes.
especially towards the end there, and, like, you got there and you achieved exactly what you wanted to achieve at uni, and, you got the recognition that you deserve.
Yeah, I felt very proud, so thank you. It was nice, and Jackson said that like he could tell that I was like actually beaming when I like went and like.
You goodness me, you were so cute when
Really?
you walked off the stage, and then like you come down, and then you got your actual certificate, and you're just like showing like mum and dad as you walk past. Goodness me, I'm pretty sure I got it on video.
Yeah, because they had their little cameras, and I was like, look at my deck, woo!
It's something to be very proud of.
Yeah, it's honestly, I didn't expect to be so happy to have those pieces of paper. I think you kind of, because it's a lot of work and it's like, okay, yep. And then my wheeziness, you kind of, like everyone is, doing the same thing. So sometimes it doesn't feel as special because, you're surrounded by people with the achievement. And then also I kind of forgot, like, not that I was doing it for the pieces of paper, but it was nice to have such, like, it meant more to me than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that I'll have those forever, and like I'm really proud to like display them and stuff, because it's like it wasn't nothing, as Jackson always says, it's not nothing, mate.
He's not wrong. I'll give him that.
5.5 years of studying. Tears and stress, and then I learned how to manage my stress by the end, I think.
Yeah, you did get better towards the end.
But yeah, good to tick the chapter off. Also, it feels like closure almost.
It does, right?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. And like music gets to me, so when they play like the music where the procession walks in, I'm like, this is such a big moment. And then like, yeah, it was good. I really wanted, because I can get a bit overwhelmed. Like, it's such a big moment that like it can be like a bit scary almost, because it's like a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
There's a lot, because you imagine it for so long. So before I went into it, I like a few days before, I was, getting a bit like, blah, and I just sort of set my intentions, and I was like, I want to be present, I want to enjoy the moment, and I want to, really just like, if those two things are there, then that's all I sort of need, because it's very easy to get caught up with like, oh my god, photos and memorabilia and like, getting there on time and like celebrating and making the most of it. And so those are my two intentions, and I think I did them well for the most part, but it sort of showed me that I still have ways to go in my personal growth.
always room for improvement.
Yeah, because that's sort of what, like, for today's topic, kind of want to cover. I going into my graduation, I didn't want to be so focused on trying to look like perfect, because for those kind of events and pictures, it's like everything has to be perfect and I have to look great. And for a while I fake tanned just because I sort of felt like almost like I had to, and I really wanted to, like, I don't fake tan on the regular, I don't like to have to put too much I just don't enjoy it, you know, so I don't do that very often. So then I would look back at events where I was fake tanned and it would be like, I don't look like how I look normally, you know. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with fake tanning, but I went in being like, I want to look like myself in this moment and this event, right? And I also haven't been wearing much makeup. Well, I wasn't. Now I'm wearing none. We'll get to that. But I was pretty much doing like, you know, moisturizer, tinted foundation, a bit of concealer, my eyebrows and mascara, and that was it. No foundation. And I mean, it's hard because since I was like 13, it's like you wear makeup when you go on stage or you go to an event. So it's like,
yeah,
can I go to an event and not wear makeup? Like, is that allowed? But then I also kind of wanted to, and it was like, I don't know, in trying to like not worry, I almost worried more. And then I went and bought like a very lightweight foundation, and I ended up, you know, doing my makeup, and I really like, you know, how it turned out and everything. But like, I was sitting there waiting to go on stage to get my thing, and all I could think was, oh my god, is my hair like how's my hair look, and like, is my ears sticking out, and is it, and it almost like, it was like so hard to not let those thoughts consume me and steal the joy from the moment. And you know, like, we go and we got some professional photos done, and we did some of our own photos, and in those moments I was like, oh, like, do I look okay? Like, I hope some of these turn out okay. And then I looked through some of the photos, and like, you know, I didn't let it consume me again, but it was still a thought. It was still a big thought in my, like, you know, and like, because I've been doing 75 hard, I feel more confident in my body than I have in a long time. So that wasn't so much of a worry, but it still crossed my mind, you know, was, you know, like, am I holding my tummy in enough? And like, everything about how I looked was really important to me when I didn't want it to be, because I just wanted to look like myself. And I realized if I truly accepted myself, I wouldn't look at a photo and be like, oh, I look terrible, or like, because they're all me and they're all acceptable, with makeup, without makeup, you know, toned, not toned, all of that. And so I realized that, well, I'm not quite there with the whole body image thing. Come a long way, but not quite there. And then I looked back at the photos and I was like, oh my gosh, because I just started feathering my eyebrows like a few weeks ago, and that's how I did it for the photos. And after, oh my gosh, like 10 years of doing my eyebrows one way and then a few weeks doing it the other way, like, I was looking at the photos, I'm like, do I look silly? Do I look crazy? Should I have done my eyebrows the other way? Like, it doesn't look like me. And I panicked, and it was like, why, the day after of such an amazing event, I'm focusing on such a small, minute detail, which doesn't matter. And it, you know, it was consuming my thoughts. And then, you know, I kind of worked through it and, you know, like, meditated on it, journaled, and I was like, no, I really like how I looked. But again, it's like this thought of how I looked and how other people will think I look when I post the photos, and like, it's just consuming me too much, that I decided to do a week, because like, that's still a big ask. I'm not sure if I'll do longer, but I was like, I'm gonna do 7 days and no makeup, and not worry about what I look like, and try and focus on what I'm doing and what I'm saying and how I'm acting and what I'm putting into the world, and really try not to worry about how I'm looking. And then I was like, yep, I'm gonna do this. And then, you know, I told Jackson and waited for his like, yeah, that's a good idea, because like, if he had have been like, why would you do that, I don't know if I would have stuck to it, because I'd be like, yeah, easy way out, you know. So it's good that he was like, yeah, it's a good idea if you think it will help. And then I sort of, I don't know, I realized I would be doing the podcast without makeup, and that was so scary. So here we are.
I mean, yeah, I remember when we first started the podcast, every week, like, if my makeup wasn't done beforehand while we were setting up, I was like quickly doing my makeup, right?
Yeah.
And I used to always have like a full face, and not like a full face, like a cake face, just like just your normal foundation, then like your blush and contour and eyebrows and mascara, like nothing,
not a
crazy,
glam look.
not a glam look, just like the basics, like my everyday look. And then yeah, more recently I've just been like, meh.
I really liked watching the last episode, and you had like no foundation on. It looked like You know, you have very, like today, you looked very minimal makeup, and I thought you looked really great, and it was nice.
Thanks.
And so that also gave me like courage, because I was like, I think you look really nice. But it's like, it's hard when our insecurities are like, because I've almost come to accept, like I'll tell people, like, I basically wear no makeup, but like for years I haven't left the house without doing my eyebrows. For years, since like I was 16, so almost like 10 years, like 8 years, I've left the house every day. And I remember one time I forgot, and I basically, my mum drove me home so I could do my eyebrows, because I was that distraught to go to school and show my face. And so, you know, it's like I've very much accepted myself, but I've still put these caveats of like, but if I have my eyebrows done, and then mascara and concealer, I don't have to, but my eyebrows, it's a huge thing for me, like a huge insecurity, where it's just like, I can't, like, I don't think like, I'm trying to, okay, thought, this is coming out very fast, but I don't know if I need to learn to think that I'm pretty with my natural eyebrows, or if the point isn't about looking pretty at all, and it's just self-acceptance. And, you know, do you know what I mean? Because in the book, the Think Like a Monk, it's about detaching yourself from, like, you're not your achievements or your looks, you know, you're your essence, you know. And while, like, when people give you like a compliment, like, you look beautiful, a compliment, then you can say like, oh, thank you, like, be humble, but also like realize that it's not. So I don't know if I should be detaching from my desire to fit into societal standards and fit this mold of being attractive, or if I should be feeling attractive and beautiful exactly as I am, or both, or neither. I don't know.
I don't know, actually.
Right? So I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to achieve with this. I think for me, actually, I do know what I wanted to achieve. In wearing no makeup for 7 days, I wanted my looks to be less important to myself. Because it's almost like I felt like they owned me, because they could rob me of so much happiness, and there was such a big thought in my brain, like, do I look good? You know how many times I asked that on Monday? Do I look okay? Does my hair look okay? Do I look okay? Do I look good? And it's just because I feel like I need to look a certain way to almost like be worthy. I don't know.
But like, you kept asking, was that because you didn't believe that response that you were getting, or you were thinking things had changed, or
both. I don't think people are lying to me when they say you look fine, but I think, like, a lot of the time, like, you know, when somebody like loves you unconditionally, like your family, like you guys, like Jackson, like I'll say like, do I look okay? And he's like, you look amazing when you wake up in the morning. Like,
and so
it's
I
like,
get you.
are you living up to my, is not living up, but it is, when you say I look okay, is that to my standards? And so
to your expectations.
Yes. And so, like, when I ask you, I know you understand a bit more what I'm saying. I'm not saying, do you think I look pretty? I'm saying, will the external world and is this Instagram worthy? That kind of.
Yeah.
And it's like photos memorialize these moments, these big moments in our lives. And it's like, I'm trying so hard to care more about remembering the moment than having an Instagram perfect photo. But like, I just felt like I needed to, you know, like, to purge this and just to like go cold turkey, and to like, it's such a crutch. Like, doing my eyebrows is like, I rely on so much to get through my life. And while I think like I can maybe like go out without, you know, but even the days where I'm like, oh, I'm not wearing any makeup today, and I'm like, okay, we'll go out to the shops, and then all of a sudden Jackson's like, oh, I just have to do something first, I will run upstairs and do my eyebrows, because I'm like, well, I have 2 minutes. And I would go out without it, but I think, oh my gosh, what if I run into this person or that person? And I actually ran into somebody at the shops that I used to go to high school with, somebody that was like really nice, you know, like not like a ex-friend or anything, so it was fine. But I was like, oh.
With your eyebrows done or not done?
Not done, no makeup. And the first thing I thought was, oh my gosh. And then the second thing I thought was, I have no makeup on. And it's like, I don't know, do you have something in your life where you feel like it's like it owns you almost, and it's like because it was making me unhappy?
Yeah. Fake tan's probably mine.
Right? I saw a TikTok where this girl was saying how she's fake tan like every day, and like she's getting the courage to,
Did you send that to me?
Did I send it to you?
Yeah, I think you did send it to me.
And it was interesting because she said there's this small niche of people that will understand how big of a thing it is to not wear fake tan when you like, you know, so heavily. And like how she said in that video, she's like, I don't think that I'm like beautiful or worthy without fake tan. Not like consciously, but just that's what the conditioning has done by, and that's how I felt with doing my eyebrows.
Yeah. Nah, 100% mine would be fake tan. Like, I won't wear a skirt unless I have fake tan on my legs. Or a dress. Like, not a chance in the world.
So are you at a place where you think it's detrimental and you want to like
it's staying around, guys?
That's fine.
But I mean, even in the same like breath, like the whole makeup thing, I'm very similar in that respect, because I don't go to work, and you wouldn't catch me dead at work without makeup, right? But like now I would say today's a no makeup look, but I have my eyebrows done.
Right, and that was always me.
Yeah.
And I'll say it's no makeup, but I always would do my eyebrows because it's like one of my biggest insecurities. Or I just, it's like I think I'm more me when they're done. And that's dangerous, I think, for me personally, because that means that when I'm completely myself, I almost feel uncomfortable existing as I am. And I want to get to a point by hopefully doing this kind of thing, because originally I thought maybe I won't look in a mirror for a week or a month, because in Jay Shetty's book there was like no mirrors, and he's like, it was very helpful, but how do you do that? Like, how do you practically do that when I go to a public bathroom? There's a mirror. Like, my front camera goes on, you know? It's like there's windows and reflective surfaces everywhere, which is why I thought maybe I will try no makeup instead as a similar thing. And it's just an experiment, because I don't know if it's going to help, but I want to get to a point where I feel just as me, like just as much myself with my eyebrows done and with my eyebrows not done. You know?
I like that.
But it's like, because I thought I'd come so far. I was like, oh, I accept myself so much. I barely wear any makeup. But I like, you couldn't catch me like dead without my eyebrows done.
It's really interesting, because normally like people like the no makeup look is the no foundation, because you're not covering up like blemishes and, you know, uneven skin tones and scarring, whatever. But yeah, it's, I suppose the principle does extend to more than that. And I remember like I do my makeup and I go out without mascara, and then like no one in the world would be able to tell, like no one would pick up on it, but all of a sudden like I feel like I look so ridiculous and I'm embarrassed. I'm like, my goodness, like I still have eyelashes, guys. Like, why is it so stressful?
I know. And it's like almost because it becomes part of the routine.
Yeah,
like you're used to it. And that's because I would say like I've got no makeup on, but I would have mascara and my eyebrows done and maybe even like a little bit of concealer or no concealer. And that's for me like the same as wearing no makeup, because it was like, that is my face. I identified as that being my face. And so my wheeziness again. I really want to, I don't know, I hope this works, because again, as I've mentioned like a few times, the whole you stay the same until it's more uncomfortable to stay the same, because change is uncomfortable. So like whatever you need to change needs to make you so like upset or uncomfortable that it like overpowers the change itself.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it came to. I was so annoyed and disappointed that for my university graduation, all I could think about was my freaking eyebrows, and they were done. They were nice. And it's like, I was so like sitting there, and the girl next to me just seemed so much more like, she was beautiful. I just met her on the day. She was, you know, stunning. She graduated 2 years late because of COVID, and it sort of seemed like it meant less to her because she'd already had her admissions and stuff like that. But she, you know, she had makeup on, but she wasn't like fixing her hair every 2 minutes. And I was opening my phone camera and like making sure my hair was fine, and then like opening my phone camera and like making sure my hair was fine, and like, oh my god, my eyebrows okay. And I was sitting next to the guys and they're just, you know, don't care like us. And I was like, one, I felt silly. I was like, these people are like, this girl is so vain. And I was like, I wish, like, it took me out of the moment.
Yeah, wow. I mean, it's pretty big, the fact that you're self-aware of that, because so many people would do that without realizing.
Yeah, it's true. I have to appreciate how far I've come on my journey.
100%.
And like, it was a big thing for me not to tan. Like, that was huge.
Yeah, true.
And to like just go as myself. And I didn't paint my nails. I just left my nails natural. And I, you know, did a very, very natural makeup. But it still was a crutch.
We've all got them.
Yeah, so I am consciously purging makeup from my life for a week, 7 days.
What day is this?
This is day 4.
Ooh, not bad.
So next Tuesday I can wear makeup again. I'm pondering the idea of extending it or not extending it. I'm not sure, because I already think, oh my gosh, I can put on eyebrow powder again. And it's already like consuming my thoughts. And I keep thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna, you know, I have like, you have like events coming up, and it's like, I was like, well, I'm not really doing anything in this 7 days, which makes it easier. The podcast is one of the hardest things because it's going on the internet, so many people will see it. But another thing is that, you know, I'm going out and hanging out with some of Jackson's friends on the weekend, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be around his friends. Am I going to be able to feel pretty or beautiful? But at the same time, one thing, I want to feel like that when I have no makeup. But as I said before, I also want to start focusing on what else I have to give. Like, I'm tired of feeling like such an important part of my identity is my prettiness, you know? Like, I think it's detracting from me being able to discover what my actual purpose and gift is. And it was cool to be like, well, I'm going to come on the podcast and it's going to be completely about what I say, you know, rather than wanting to look, you know, and not like
I completely, yeah.
Like, it's about my words. It shouldn't be about how I look, because this is about what we have to give to the world and how we can help people.
It's definitely like, yeah, I think it's a perspective shift that you've got to have. But I mean, like, I've still got fake tan on. My face is pretty pale, which is why I've got a high neck jumper on. So, and I keep moving my hands. I'm like, keep them away from my face. It, like, gives it away. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I've got things that I don't know. I'm so torn though, because like, I know I'm me being pale. That's fine. And I pretty much went through all of winter pale. Like, I have a foundation that matches my paleness, blah blah blah. For your graduation, I was gonna wear a dress, so I fake tanned, but I didn't leave that fake tan on for very long, so I'm still pale.
I feel like you knew, because I wasn't fake tanning. Like, you didn't tan too dark to make it hard for me.
Well, not that. I was also partially lazy. Like, I chose sleep over tanning, do you know what I mean? So I only tanned that morning, and I think I only left it on for an hour and a half, so like, it really didn't have time to develop or anything like that, but it was just enough to get me across the line in a dress. But really interesting at the moment, like, I've got eczema quite bad at the moment on my arms, and my fake tan sticks funny to it, so like, that also, it doesn't stop me from tanning, but it definitely like changes what I wear, because I don't want to bring attention to it. Like, I've always got a jacket or a cardigan, and I'm just lucky that I'm always cold, so like, it doesn't really make much of a difference. But you know, fake tanning in that respect just doesn't help that aspect. But like, I get my nails done,
yes,
all the time.
But I think the interesting thing is like there's nothing wrong with any of those things. It's just that it was how it was affecting my mental health. And I also don't think, like, I don't know if cutting makeup from my life for 7 days will do anything. I'm just hoping, you know, when like, I needed to do something because it was making me almost miserable in some occasions. And that's like, you know, I would be interested to hear, like, what are other people's ways of, you know? Because if you have, as you say, like, if you accept yourself pale and you have a healthy level of self-esteem and you're wearing fake tan because you enjoy it and not because you feel like more accepted or worthy with it on, then is there a problem? Is there any reason for you to stop using it, you know?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't affect my opinion of myself in terms of like if I'm worthy or whatever, valued it, but it does increase my confidence.
But do you think, so for me, I don't think, oh my gosh, I'm not as worthy without eyebrows, but I think the world won't see me as worthy without eyebrows. And not like, okay, that sounds so ridiculous. I don't think someone's going to go, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But like, I think...
But it affects your appearance and therefore
Yes.
not as worthy. Yeah, I can understand that correlation. No, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm trying, it's just like that's fair. I think you're coming from a good place. I mean, makeup, fake tan, for me personally right now doesn't hold that much of a vice over me.
Yes. Well,
so,
that's good.
Yeah, like I don't think...
And I don't think you get your nails done because you're like, oh my gosh, the world can't see me without my nails done. It's because you like having your nails done.
Exactly.
You know?
I like being tanned and I can't tan naturally in the sun, so... Yeah.
It's like, but it could be not even appearance-wise. Like, this could apply to you in the sense of, do you need to, I don't know, like, you know, whatever... Like, it's almost like I had an addiction to doing my eyebrows. It's like, you know, do you need to stop? Like, because sometimes the things that give you joy in the moment, or they're not actually giving you contentment or joy long term. So, you know, I think it's just important to, like, think, like, is this actually making a positive impact on my life? And if it's not, maybe it's time to reevaluate and try something new.
Yeah. I think the thing that was for me, and I probably addressed this, was... like my weight and jumping on the scales, and I just don't bother jumping on scales anymore because it was holding too much value. I was placing too much weight on it and meaning to who I was, when realistically it means nothing.
Yes,
it's just a number at the end of the day.
You just completely purged that from your life. You
Pretty
got
much,
rid of the scale.
Like, I mean, yeah, for a long time there I didn't stand on a scale. I went back a little bit later and I would stand on it every now and again, but yeah, like we got rid of it, so I don't have a scale in my bathroom anymore. And sometimes I get the urge, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll pull one out and I'll see, and then I'm like, meh.
Yeah, I didn't go
it's just
on
not
scale
worth it for me
for so long because I was just always disappointed.
Yeah,
so I get that. And then recently I stepped on it and I was like, okay. And I think that again, because I had done the thing where I removed it from my life for so long, then now it doesn't hold that power over me. And I think that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to remove that thing that seems so prevalent in my life that has so much power over me, which is basically how I think other people think I look. Whether other people will say, wow, she looks so pretty, or she looks so good. And it's also like, well, I want to value myself for more than that, and then come back to that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just food for thought.
Food for thought, people. We're all beautiful.
Yes, and if you do know that thing from listening to this episode that in your life you're like, oh yes, I rely on that, and it would be very, very challenging to, you know, remove that or to live my life without it for a little while, well, I want to encourage you to have the courage to consider it, you know, if you just, we can all do it together, and think about how the positive impact it could have on your life later on, because that can help you get through the challenges of, you know, the moment of, you know, doing it in the moment.
Yep. Agreed.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening.
That's it.
Also, can I just say, you were like, I'm always cold.
I am, yeah.
Can you believe it snowed in November?
I was going to mention that.
Like, what? There was, like, snowboarding. Oh, no. Oh, every time. The camera stopped.
Apologies, people.
We're back.
But 100%, like, I had a conversation with Dad last night, and I was like, I can't believe they had 35 centimeters. I was like, I'd be impressed with that at the start of a season.
Right?
Like, that is unbelievable. He's like, I know.
Because I was like, it's cold. And I was like, haha, it snowed. And then I looked and I was like, oh my God, it snowed.
Yeah, not like a dusting.
No, like snowboarding.
Like start of a season snow.
Like,
if we're lucky.
And
like, if you had that on the opening weekend in June, I'd be impressed, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
we hardly ever get an opening weekend like that. And yet it's November.
Yeah, well, What?
Like,
Are we
after Halloween. Like, people are putting up their Christmas trees in Australia.
We're in our last, like, month of spring, which is, like, summer. Like, I usually consider November to March summer because it's so warm.
Yeah.
Where
Didn't
we
it get
are.
up to, like, 28 on the weekend?
Yeah.
And then it snowed.
I just can't. I was like, what?
I can't, I don't understand either. And, like, I've seen people I know down there on snowboards.
Me too. And I'm like, because it's sort of like a joke in like Australia where we live, where you could go snowboarding one weekend and like the end of September, and then the beginning of October you could be doing water sports, you could be surfing or whatever. But like that's like legit. You could be snowboarding and then like 28 degrees sweating in the sun. Like
I was literally at the beach on the weekend in my bikini.
Yeah.
And it was hot. Right? And then today I'm in Ugg boots and a jumper.
Yeah, and it's like that, you know, when the weather first changes and you get like a bit of a twinge in your throat and you're like, oh, my body doesn't know what's happening.
Literally. And it's been so windy. I thought August was known for its winds, not November.
Every time it's like windy, I'm just like, August wins.
Literally.
September wins. October wins. It's November wins now.
It never ends. I can't deal.
I just thought we should end with that because that's crazy.
It's insane. It is insane.
White Christmas, guys.
Imagine. I don't think I could, hey. It would be so weird.
Yeah, it's like, because what Perisha put up on their story, like, are you good? Like, when they did, like, because it was like, why are you snowing in November?
Literally, like, who's confused?
Yeah. Everybody's confused. I'm like, feeling like I should wake up from a dream.
100%. I can't. I have no words, literally. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Global warming, important topic, actually.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can turn it around and save our planet.
Hopefully. That is the plan.
Yes, I am rooting for us. So
same. And yeah, with Misty, we'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah, she's
a trooper.
Yeah, she's a trooper, and she's made a bit of amends since when it was getting a bit challenging, but it's just hard when we don't know what it is. So
yeah, but we'll keep you posted.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for joining us again.
And we'll chat with you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening in.
There's absolutely no pressure to do this, but if you're happy to share the podcast with your friends or on your socials and tag us at Pierced Off Pod, that would be amazing.
You can also leave us a stellar 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening on if you're feeling extra motivated today. It really does help us out so much, but ultimately, we are just beyond grateful that you're here.
You are also more than welcome to come and hang out with us on our other socials. All of our links are in the description.